We all fell in love with the vision and it was taking. And now to see something like this, in such a record time, because we were here following our Africa game in Johannesburg. We flew here with Commissioner Adam Silver, Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum, and Masai Ujiri, the president of the Toronto Raptors. This was, I believe, on 6th of August. From that point and the conversations we've had to be here and just talking to the project manager, that they started this work in January and it's going to be completed in June, is amazing. And I think, I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product and all we can do here in Rwanda in terms of, bringing major events in Kigali Arena.
Talk to me about talent development and the opportunities that lay ahead. I understand at the NBA level, you're working with the NBA Junior League and you're having the Basketball Without Borders camp and some setups in Senegal. This is, an ecosystem that you're working around. But what are the opportunities that lay ahead and how are we nurturing talent at this particular moment?
Look, we started from the basics in terms of the minute we opened our office, we understood that before we can talk about an NBA business in Africa, we had to make sure the sport is relevant. It was all about making the game of basketball accessible to boys and girls with talent and passion to play it. So we spend a lot of time, really engaging with stakeholders from government officials, ministries of sports and basketball federation, our partner FIBA, to just make sure we build infrastructure, both physical infrastructure and also spending time training coaches and organizing events. And now when we launch our junior NBA leagues across the continent, we're in 14 countries right now, it was about really providing participation opportunity for young players. And then in 2016, 2017, we launched NBA Academy Africa because we always saw that there was tremendous talent on the continent, tremendous opportunity for basketball development. And we've started Basketball Without Borders in 2003. Now we have all these junior NBA league in terms of really making a conscious effort to go and identify talent and nurture the talent. That's why we launched NBA Academy Africa in Sali, because before that we've had players from Africa come in the NBA, but it was really just by sheer I don't want to say luck, but it's just like you create an enabling environment, talent emerge. Now with NBA Academy Africa, it is intentional. The idea and the objective is really to produce elite talent. So, it's the number of players in our league, the NBA from Africa, is going to continue to grow. And also next step, we announced in February that we are going to launch the Basketball Africa League in early 2020. This will be an amazing property, 12 teams in 12 countries. And we're going to just make sure that enormous talent that exists in Africa has a platform to showcase right here on the continent, and also through broadcast this is going to go global, and we are going to attract talent from all over the world. But first and foremost, we want to make sure that the African talent gets showcased. As we talk about building the ecosystem, the entire ecosystem, that's always been our objective. So we took steps in terms of at the beginning focusing at grassroots, and in early 2011, for example, the partnership we launched with the Royal Bafokeng Nation in South Africa was really a precursor to all our junior NBA leagues now across the continent. Then we launched NBA Academy Africa. Now we announced Basketball Africa League coming in early 2020. Part of the ecosystem development is also making sure that infrastructure development catches up. And I think with Dakar Arena and now this Kigali Arena, and there are other arenas across the continent, but I'm pretty sure other countries are going to follow up and have facilities like the one in Dakar and the one coming up here in Kigali. I think this is going to give our game, really the platform with global standards. Our fans are going to be able to be entertained in arena with the experience that the best league, professional league, in the world, the NBA, offer fans in America and around the world when we take our games and our teams to other parts of the world.
The National Basketball Association has for years invested in growing talent across Africa. But one would ask themselves, when do the sportsmen expect returns?
I think, like any business, you invest with an expectation that you are going to, get a return. We are here for the long haul. This is a long-term plan. This is a long-term investment. We know that we're best at commercializing opportunities like this, and that's our intention for the long term in Africa. When we opened the office in 2010, we understood that we're going to have to invest to grow the ecosystem, and we've seen very encouraging signs over the decade since we've been here. But Africa is a growth market for everything, all industries, but for us, the unique approach we are taking is we're going to localize our development effort. It's about engaging, with the key stakeholders, government being, primary. We're building partnerships across countries, I think there's a very strong relationship with President Kagame and Kenyatta and Macky Sall and, a host of leaders across Africa who are buying into our approach, not just because of the beauty of our game, which is, obviously, it's a global game, it's fast-paced, it's, young people are drawn to it. But I think part of what we do is make sure that, and this is one of the things I'm most proud of, is how we use basketball and how we leverage the celebrity of our players and our brand to engage with young people. It's about inspiring youth. It's about developing youth. And because we understand that in order for our business to thrive and the continent to thrive, we got to make sure that we engage with the youth, equipping them with the right tool. And we think that the values of sports and basketball in particular really speak to that. So for us, yes, we're going to invest heavily, for example, in the Basketball Africa League, but we are going to build partnerships. We already have, and Commissioner Silva spoke to this at the luncheon in Charlotte when we announced the game. We already have some major companies who are interested in partnering with us to invest alongside us on the continent. Yes, and returns will come, but obviously initially we are willing to invest because we believe in the market, we believe in the opportunity, and we have no doubt that it's going to pay off in the long term.